I would not have kickstarted my career if 6 engineers who went to Purdue didn't decide to form what is now called the National Society of Black Engineers, that gave you, even me as the African student, an opportunity to go to a conference and meet companies and interviews and get an internship. So all of these Africans here, we know we have all these lawyer, doctor, engineers that our parents wanted us to be. Yeah. And we came here to US to achieve that. But really, you have to understand, if it wasn't for African Americans, what they established, their greatness on their achievements in each of these fields, those opportunities would not be presented to us. Yeah. So you owe it to them to actually go and learn their history.
Haitian people, African people, stop telling Black American they don't have no culture. Yes, they do got culture. Black American, they are the culture. They make stuff move. They did the hard work for us. So we need to appreciate Black American. We need to stop saying Black American does not have culture. Yes, they do have culture. Black American is the culture.
Our culture is so deeply rooted here. Everything about American culture that is good comes from foundational Black Americans. True. The food, the dance, the slang, the sports, the entertainment, all of the music genres was created by foundational Black Americans.
As an Indian man that was born and raised in America, I'm telling you right now, every aspect of American culture, sports, fashion, art, music, all of it, it's all Black culture. Black culture is American culture. Some of the single most...
growing up here in the East Coast, here in Philadelphia, I grew up in a Black utopia. There was Black people everywhere, right? Foundational Black Americans, you had Jamaicans, you had... The Africans that was here was Ghanaians and Liberians, right? And mainly from the Caribbean, it was mainly Jamaicans. We all lived together. They lived together. It was integrated into communities with FBA Americans. Back then, you didn't see like these groups with W folks, a W woman or a W man. Most people was on Black time, right? And Black communities. And a lot of times you didn't even know that they were from these other places till you went to their home and you seen their families, because they were integrated into Black American culture. Over the last 20 to 25 years, you start seeing a separation where now they will come to this country and build communities separate from us, right? So now we start to delineate and separate ourselves from these immigrant groups and say, yo, we're not African Americans, we're not part of that, we're gonna take this African off because you guys are cosplaying off of us and not even coming here and learning the culture. But now you have Africans on the continent and people from other cultures that's not FBA that are 10 toes down, and they do respect FBA culture, and they're getting mixed in with the ones that was calling us that's been calling us names because you guys wasn't loud enough to check them people, or a lot of y'all didn't come here to learn our culture. So now the Somalis, they've been going through hell from this Trump administration because they've come here with their scams, and while they come here with their scams, they was making money. They start looking down on the community. They start talking bad about us and had the audacity to now say that they want reparations. They're asking for reparations for what ICE have done to their communities, where their whole community is mixed up in a $9 billion scandal. From Maine to Seattle to Portland, all the way back to Columbus, back to Minnesota. They're wrapped up in all these scandals. I mean, it gets crazy. And they had the audacity to be talking about us to the point where our people had to talk like this.
It's okay to abuse foundational Black Americans. It's okay as long as the abuse is not reciprocal. As long as you guys don't punch back, it's okay.
Right.
Okay. Because we've been called akatas, we've been called lazy, we've been said, people say we don't have no culture. I mean, Kai Sanat's gone viral saying that we don't have no culture.
Yep.
Frank has gone viral saying that we don't have no culture. I mean, they say we don't have no culture. Or if we do have culture, it's drug dealing, it's baby mamas, murder, it's crime. We don't do it. We're not sophisticated, low IQ, all of that stuff. And you don't see Pan-Africanism saying anything. These are the same Pan-Africanists who, if we say something unfavorable, whether it's true or not true, most of the time it is true, about Africa, beyond like, y'all know y'all got tribal beasts. Here come Pan-Africanism. Oh, let's not start no diaspora war. Let's not start no diaspora war. But we can be told that we don't want to be seen at Juneteenth. I mean, at Carnival. They can sell us, hey, I don't want Black Americans at Carnival. Pan-Africanism, absent.
Yeah, not there.
Michael B. Jordan, Pan-Africanism, absent. When we try to step in their lane or do anything, whether we do it respectfully or not, Pan-Africanism, when they get to beating us up, talking about us, denigrating us, Pan-Africanism, absent.
So now, because they see FBA Americans arguing about reparations in this country right now, what do? These Somalis, they start running their scams again. They want to now ask for reparations for their communities to be repaired, where they should have got rid of those scammers in their communities from the door. The governor, what's the governor? I forgot his name is escaping me right now. Tim Walz. He was complicit with this. The mayor, all of them, all these Democrats have been complicit with replacing us. They've been complicit with allowing these groups to come here and have funds allocated to their communities. But when we lift up our heads and turn around and say, what about our community? Oh, well, those funds have dried up already, right? They run these programs where what's supposed to be allotted for the freedmen, it automatically go to these Democrats, allow it to go to these immigrant groups. And we supposed to just sit there and allow it. To the point where they're so comfortable, right? They talking like this now.
We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community. Relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
We have suffering since starting for ICE. We wanna, whoever bring over here, we wanna they pay. Only that's what I'm saying. And I'm asking our governor and our state. We are taxpayer. We need to pay back whatever they committed ICE. Thank you very much.
Now they're reaching out to the governor Walz because the governor has always been nice to them. But they still have these probes going on, right? In Columbus, Ohio, Seattle, Washington, Maine, right? Minnesota, and many different branches all throughout the country where we're finding out that they were sending millions of dollars back up to Somalia and to Kenya and was buying property. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff where they have a probe going on now in Kenya going after the Somalis. So, like, this whole thing is wild. But Tariq Nasheed, he got wind of this as well, and he spoke on this and said this.
The Somalis, ladies and gentlemen, are talking about they need some damn reparations now. They need reparations now after all the suffering that they've been through. Man, dude, boy, and these are some of the people that were trying to shame us for talking about reparations. These are the same people trying to shame us. Now, we waited generations for reparations, for centuries of enslavement, Jim Crow, systematic racism. And these Somali immigrants, they're demanding cash for ICE trauma. You know, they've been raided, so they've been traumatized, so they need a bag. Excuse me. And you got a lot of scammers and fraudsters out there really demanding more taxpayer money. Look, there's already been shown that like over $18 billion in social service fraud has been linked to the Somali community out there in Minnesota. And then people are saying that there's some funds allegedly funneled to terror groups like Al-Shabaab and all that stuff. So now they're seeking hundreds of thousands of dollars per person in reparations. Boy, the audacity. Boy, there's the sort. That's entitlement. Boy, that entitlement is nothing to play with. They come over, man, and start demanding free rent, business grants, or don't have ICE come in their neighborhood. And the government got to apologize. Now they need a bag. They flee their homeland and get welfare and stuff over here. And then when laws are enforced, they want to be victimized. Man. And it's, the Democrats, they sit up and enable this stuff. The Democrats are enabling this nonsense. They are enabling this replacement agenda. Like Tim Walsh, all of these people, they're up here talking about the feds need to pay for what they broke after ICE raids and all that stuff. And yeah, the Democrats, they prioritize these non-FBA groups all the time. A lot of people are complaining about this, how they go out of their way to prioritize these non-FBA groups, but act like everything is tapped out when we're telling them we have certain needs and demands. See, they want to have us their loyal voter base without any tangibles, and that's why there is a paradigm shift going on. We're just not going for that. And understand, ICE enforcement is not trauma. That is law and order. Claiming some kind of trauma from immigration raids? Stop it. ICE.
This is the whole thing. As for foundational Black Americans, we can't be shamed into wanting to walk with these people. We've walked with everybody. We've allowed everybody to walk with us. The sad part about it is us being the grassroots. A lot of our family members and people are still on that Democratic plantation, and they're going to vote for Democrats until they die, man. They just support the Democrats, right or wrong, weak or strong, even though you support them and they give you nothing and you love it. That's what they've done to a lot of our people across America. A lot of our foundational Black American people, our family members and stuff, don't like us because we're calling out the Democratic Party. They even calling us divisive. Right? But because the grassroots is causing so much trouble and disruption, you got a lot of Africans now that's starting to speak out loud. And they're starting to tell the truth. And they're starting to call out their African anti-FBA racism. Right? The stuff that they're doing to us. They've been calling this stuff out for some time now. They just wasn't loud enough. But now they're starting to be louder because they know that they need FBA.
I came to America as an immigrant, and I need to tell you something most Africans won't admit. We arrive in this country looking down on African Americans. And we have no right to, no history, no context, no right. When I went back this early on in my early teens, we were reading Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, Shakespeare in school. You know who we never read? W.E.B. Du Bois, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison. Not one, not ever, not once. That is not an accident. That's colonial education designed to disconnect us from our history, from our struggle, from each other. Before Africans come to America, we know nothing about African Americans except music videos and movies. We see the poverty, we see the violence, we see the performance, but we do not see the policy. We don't see the history. We don't see the 400 years of theft. We don't know that every single right we have as African immigrants, every protection, every opportunity, every door that opens exists because African Americans bled for it. The Civil Rights Act, the voting rights, fair housing, that wasn't given, that was taken. They faced police dogs, fire hoses, bombs in churches. They were lynched for organizing, assassinated for speaking. And we benefit from it the second we step off the plane, but we don't learn that. We're never taught that. We arrive ignorant and call it pride. So we come to America carrying white supremacist thought, and we don't even know it. We look at African Americans and think, why can't they just work hard like us? Why are they so angry? Why don't they pull themselves up? We repeat that. We believe it. We become it. We judge without remembering they're descendants of people, of us, who were enslaved for 400 years and denied everything after emancipation. We don't know about redlining. We don't know about sharecropping, convict leasing, the destruction of Black Wall Street. We don't know about COINTELPRO. We don't know the government-orchestrated crack epidemic. We don't know wealth compounds, and African Americans were systematically prevented from building any. We judge them for the effects. We ignore the cause. We repeat the lie. White supremacy is brilliant. It separated us before we ever met. It taught Africans we're better, more dignified, more hardworking, more pure. It taught us to see African Americans as lazy, criminal, inferior. Meanwhile, it taught African Americans that Africans sold them, which is true but incomplete because it erases European demand, European ships, European guns, European economic system that created the trade. The system wins when we're divided, when we say, I'm not like them. We're doing white supremacy's work, people, for free.
And I'll say this, shout out to the non-FBA black people that are speaking out, that are speaking up, those that's calling their communities out for their xenophobic behavior. You know, when we were young, they say, well, you called us African booty scratcher, you did this. When we were young, as children, we said a lot of things, but you know darn well, as adults in college and everything, that wasn't going on. Once, you know, when you were part of community, you was part of community. Part of our culture, we bust on everybody. We bust on each other. You got called African booty scratcher because we got called African booty scratcher. That wasn't nothing unique just for you. We don't have unique names just for you guys. You guys have names just for us. Everything we call y'all, we call ourselves, right? Because that was part of us ingratiating you into the culture, right? So, like I said, whatever Haitians said that they experienced down in Miami, that wasn't everywhere. That's a lie. That's a lie, right? So, no, y'all just come here and be you know, just saying a lot of them lies. But these Africans right here in this video I showed you guys, because they're telling on y'all. They're telling us that you guys are liars and y'all don't spend time coming here to learn the culture because you're arrogant. You love that W man. You can't wait to run over there to that W man. And this is what they're saying, right? They're saying that you guys wasn't taught our culture. But when you get here, you see black people here already. You don't even respect the black people enough to find out what did the black people do for you to be able to get here. You just come here to want close proximity to whiteness. That's what you do. And that's why we separating from y'all. That's why we're not caring about what the Somalis is going through. Because when you guys were stealing money from the government, you was talking down on us. You said what you guys did in 30 years, we didn't do in 300 years. We got the videos. We saw all that stuff that y'all was saying about us. We saw the imam giving a cook bar talking about black Americans and not knowing our fathers and all that disparaging things that the Somali community was saying about us. Now y'all y'all asking for reparations. Man, get out of here, man. We ain't trying to hear none of that. Y'all better get them scammers up out y'all community and y'all wouldn't have to be going through what y'all going through. But y'all guys, man, if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Let me know what you guys think, man. Everybody make sure that you hit the like button at the end of all these videos, man. So these videos can get out further out to the algorithm. But if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.